Hi there, my name's Andrew Meyna Wілсон and I'm the Chief Executive of AMBA, the Association of MBAs, which is an organisation of 20,000 student and graduate MBAs around the world. And we also accredit 250 of the world's leading business schools. I'm also the chairman of United Nations Prime, Principles for Responsible Management Education, a great small division of the United Nations that champions sustainability and responsibility and responsible management worldwide. Just talking about social enterprises, like perhaps many of you, I used to work for large commercial organisations whose main motivation in life for all their managers was to make a profit. And I'd been a director of a couple of wonderful multinationals, and I just decided that I wanted a career change that actually was something that gave more to society than just creating profits for a major multinational. And to reassure those of you thinking about social enterprises now, there's been a great change worldwide, in almost every country worldwide, amongst MBAs and master's students who've decided that you've only got one life and you want to make a difference in life. And so rather than just make profits, you actually want to run an organisation or be part of an organisation that is helping either sustain our planet or supporting communities. So this is a big change in the world that's happening right now. Earlier this year, I interviewed 4 of the world's most famous chief executives, including Paul Polman, the chief executive of Unilever. And you're going to find now that even the world's largest multinationals are changing their emphasis. They want to see social enterprise become a major goal of their company. So, for example, Unilever have said to their short-term shareholders, we no longer want you as a short-term shareholder. We only want investors who will invest in Unilever long-term. And the reason for that is Unilever want to help solve some of the world's most pressing social problems, and they require long-term solutions. And long-term solutions require long-term investment, not short-term investment. And bear in mind that even today, the average duration of a shareholding of many major multinationals is 3 or 4 seconds. That's how long some people are holding those shares. What companies want now is shareholders who will support sustainable businesses and will invest for 5 or 6 years, not 3 or 4 seconds. The good news for your own career and career planning is that more and more companies are now demanding MBAs and master's students with some kind of caring social responsibility personality. They're no longer looking for people who can just make the maximum profit. So if you have some skill set and experience of social enterprises business, it can only help your career, whether you're going to set up a small company on your own within the Ukraine, or you're looking for a larger company career within the Ukraine, Central Eastern Europe, or further afield. So investing now in a social enterprise experience has got to be a good thing. So if I look within a Ukrainian context as to how to set up a social enterprise, the problem has been for many years, particularly in parts of Central Eastern Europe, is the sustainability of the financial model of such an enterprise, be it a charity or not-for-profit. And many have started full of passion, but simply run out of money or investment capital, particularly if there's no government support money behind it, and the company stars and fades away. And for me, the key is to create a hybrid social enterprise company, because that's the one that's sustainable, so that you have a 50% commercial aim, but 50% of the organization's goals are ones that help society, whether it's helping the environment or helping people in some of the social challenges that you're facing in the Ukraine today. So I would ask yourself, how do we create a 50% commercial company with a viable, sustainable, sufficiently profitable future to be largely a socially focused enterprise? And it's the creation of some of the smartest minds from business schools, including your own, that that society really needs, because these things aren't easy. And I think the danger is that if you start off in a purely social enterprise with some seed money, be it from a commercial partner or from government or an aid agency, but it only gives you 2 years of life, then that social enterprise isn't really succeeding. So try and think through some of the commercial companies that you've worked for. How can you take some of the best practices there, but turn those round into the social enterprise that has a financially self-sustainable life of 10 to 20 years? The other alternative business model is to just combine with enough people with a similar idea so that you can pool some funding together and possibly obtain what is the fastest in Western Europe way of growing some of these social enterprises through crowdfunding. In other words, come up with your idea, find other talented like-minded students who have the same passion as you, mix your skills together, and then put a broader prospectus out through social media and see if you can generate some early crowdfunding from others who share the same passion as you. And particularly if you're clever and you can create some form of social enterprise that doesn't require too much capital investment. So in other words, is not too heavily real estate investment or IT hardware and software investment. Those are the ones with the most likely chance of succeeding. Anything that requires too much advanced investment, particularly given some of the challenges you have at the Ukraine at the moment, are probably not for the here and now. Maybe there's something more appropriate in a few years' time. The other thing that amazes me about the education industry, and one of the reasons that I really love working in it, is you will be amazed at how many bright people will give you volunteer time. So, for example, when we accredit a business school, which is a strong element of social enterprise, we find that we get willing support from other business school deans and directors who will go and accredit those other schools in their own time and at virtually no cost. So how can you engage other bright and experienced people in your social enterprise where their giving is much more important to them than the financial reward they succeed? So try and generate some crowdfunding investment up front so you're not worried about cash from the word go, and try and infuse the brain power and experience of senior people, and you'll be surprised at how many people will get behind your idea without wanting any or much payment. My sense also in a current Ukrainian context is all over the world, many of the social enterprises are trying to tackle climate change and sustainability of water supplies. I would leave those because there's so many organisations trying to do those across international borders, and I would focus on the genuine social enterprises and supporting and helping Ukrainian society. That's where you can make the maximum impact at the moment, and I think it's both commendable and advisable to focus within a Ukrainian context. There's plenty of time later as you get more experience in managing social enterprises several years down the line to look at some of the bigger and more international areas, such as sustainability of water, renewable energy, and trees and forestation. Finally, I'm coming out to the Ukraine in March 2017 and very much look forward to engaging with more of you from the school, more of you students and graduates, understanding in more detail what you're trying to do, and hopefully helping bringing some of the best practice ideas from Europe, from Asia, where I spend a lot of time, and also from Latin America.